Wow, it has been a hot minute since I've been on YouTube. To be on here pretty regularly. I've moved mostly over to Instagram, but I thought it would be a good idea to give you guys an update on how my skin is doing. If you're new here, let me give you a little rundown on my acne story. It's hasn't changed, but here we go. So my acne first started when I hit puberty. I was around 12 or 13, the typical hormonal acne. Obviously, I was quite distraught about it, and so I quickly made a doctor's appointment to see what I could do about it. For some wild reason, my doctor thought it would be a good idea to put me on birth control. And me not knowing any better, I just went along with it, thought, sure, whatever, I'll do anything to get rid of this acne. And so that's kind of where my journey started. But for years, I actually had very clear skin because I was on a combination pill that helped to manage acne for 6 years. So about 6 years later, I started noticing I was breaking out again, even though I was still on the pill. Nothing else had changed. So I was starting to worry a little bit because I had had clear skin for so many years. It started to progressively get worse. So I went to see a doctor again, and he switched me onto a couple of different pills until I finally realized that the pill wasn't doing what I had wanted it to do anymore, and I had no other reason to be on the pill. So I decided to get off. I don't know if I thought that, my acne would get better when I got off the pill. I'm not sure what I thought there, but my thought process was definitely that I wanted my body to be more natural. I wanted to not take any extra pills if I didn't have to, and I wanted to make sure that my body was healthy, and it didn't feel like a good idea to me to be on the birth control pill for so many years, especially if it wasn't doing its job. Unfortunately, my acne got progressively worse at that point. It was like every day I was getting several new breakouts, and it was just annihilating my already very low self-esteem. At this time, I was trying everything. I was trying every product that was at the store, you know, the typical Derma E products, the Yes to Tomatoes line, the Clean and Clear, the Proactive, all of that. I tried everything, as well as natural remedies, home remedies, literally any article, website, recommendation I could find. I was willing to try it as long as there was even an inkling of a chance that it would help. I tried it, and unfortunately, none of them gave me the results I needed. Not only was I getting some recurring and quite severe acne, it was also leaving behind a lot of damage. So the fact that my acne was healing and then coming back, healing and then coming back, it was causing long-lasting damage to my skin, and I could see this. Not only that, all of these different products on my skin were also causing damage, and so I needed something that was not only going to clear my acne, but when that happened, I needed something that was going to take care of the inflammation that left the pigmentation behind, as well as the scarring that I had. So I found Banish as a customer on Instagram. Their pumpkin enzyme mask was the first product I bought, the first product I tried, and once I started making some lifestyle changes with the Banish skincare products, I started to see a reduction in my acne, and that meant that I could start treating my acne scars, which was huge. I had never gotten that far. So not only was I seeing less inflammation, less bumps popping up every month, and if they did pop up, they were smaller. My skin, it felt smoother to touch. Like I remember touching my skin and it feeling like baby soft. And not only that, but when I was using the Banisher, the microneedling tool that they have, I saw you can see a difference, just like when you go to the gym. You can see a difference, you know, within a couple of weeks of using it, but you can really tell that it's working when other people start complimenting your skin or your results. You know, I'm grateful that I had a very supportive husband who was very loving throughout all of my acne and all of the products and stuff that I made him go out and buy for me. But when strangers were looking or strangers were complimenting me on my skin, I think I even have a video of me like in the grocery store parking lot crying because I used to be really upset when people would stare because I knew that they were staring at my acne, whether they were or not. In my head, I told myself that they were. And after I had cleared up my acne, and after the Banisher had helped me eliminate most of my scarring to the point where I was comfortable going out without makeup, people were still staring. And so I'm like, they're staring at me because of me, not because of my acne. And so it like brought me to tears. It took a while. It took a long time of consistency. I think that's the most important thing to take away is you have to be consistent with your skincare routine. It took months for me to get my acne under control, and then it took months for me to even start addressing the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and the scarring that I had. But like I said, I could see the results starting after, a couple of days. I could feel the difference literally in my skin myself. But to actually, see a difference in my skin, like compare photos, it took weeks. I've always used various different products. You can use, whatever you feel like you need to use with your skin. Obviously, simple is best. You don't need a ton of products. You don't need to buy the whole line of something. You could just pick something that's right for you. Something that I found really complemented the pumpkin enzyme mask for the acne and the Banisher for the scarring was light therapy. I actually bought one of those masks that you put on at home, and it has the blue and the red light, different wavelengths. And I noticed a huge difference. And I think that would be a really complementary thing to use when you're addressing both acne and acne scarring, because it kind of treats them both at the same time, which not a lot of products can do, obviously, but it'll help supplement if you're using an acne treatment as well as a scarring treatment. Like I said, the difference that I saw in my skin was it was incredible. It was the reason that I kept going back to the skincare products with Banish was because I saw those results. A lot of skincare products promise things that they can't deliver on, and that's what I think sets Banish apart from the others. Is if their products weren't working, they would reformulate them. They are very consumer driven, and they listen to feedback, and the feedback was that the product was working, so why would they change it? The other products just didn't make a difference for my skin. If anything, it made my skin feel worse, and I'm a pretty good judge right away if a product is going to be for me or not. I'm not a fan of products that make my skin burn. I'm not a fan of products that overly dry out your skin. Banish didn't do any of that. Banish had this unique formula that was somehow treating my acne while nourishing the skin underneath. It wasn't just robbing my skin of sebum. Sure, it was helping reduce the oiliness, but it wasn't leaving me with no oil so that my skin was dry, flaky, and irritated. It's been 7 years, and I'm still using them. Obviously, you can see right here, I'm still getting some hormonal breakouts every month. It doesn't bother me because, like I said, I know I have the products I need to treat them. They don't last long. Breakouts are like, my skin goes like this throughout the month just because of hormones. It's normal. And I know I always have those products to rely on. The one downside that I've heard from people over the years of using Banish is, unfortunately, they are premium products, so you are going to pay a bit of a higher price than you would for something like a Clean and Clear product. But obviously, Clean and Clear, like I said, for me, those kinds of things didn't work. So I think that when it comes to products and ingredients that are good for your skin, not just good for your acne, you have a bit of a higher price point. If you look at any high quality skincare brand, you're going to see them in and around the same price point. So I do wish that Banish was a bit more affordable for everybody, but like I said, sometimes you just have to pay for that quality, especially because they're small batch ingredients. They use organic ingredients. The quality of the ingredients is so important. Even if you just pick 1 or 2 products to focus on at a time, pick that pumpkin enzyme mask for the acne, and then when you've got that under control, you've got that Banisher. I thought I needed lots of different products to do something very complex to my skin, but that wasn't the case. So that's where I'm at with my skin today. I hope that you have enjoyed this update. If you have any questions about my skin, if you have any questions about the products that I've talked about, any questions about the pumpkin enzyme mask or the Banisher at-home microneedling tool, leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for coming back to visit with me.